In the name of Allah, the most gracious, the most merciful. Hello and regards. This is Muhammad Suleiman Ahmadzai, here with a new session for you, my friends. Alright, let's continue with the lesson together. Here, when we right-click on the taskbar, as we mentioned before, it also has a settings option. We right-click, we go to settings. Inside settings, the first thing you see is the lock the taskbar option, which we worked on earlier, whether the taskbar is locked or not. If it's not locked, what happens? This way, you can move it up, down, left, or right, and you can also make it a bit bigger. But if it's locked, then no one can do that. If we select this option, whenever we're in desktop mode, the taskbar will be hidden. Desktop mode refers to the current mode we're in. Your taskbar will be hidden in this state. When you move your pointer over it, it will automatically appear. And as soon as you move away and don't interact with it, it hides itself again. If you turn this off, it means it won't do that anymore. But if your device has tablet mode, there's another mode called tablet mode. In that mode too, you can choose whether the taskbar hides itself or not. For example, here we have a mode. Well, here, we can't really use this computer. If the computer has a touchscreen, it automatically has something called tablet mode. It gets activated here automatically. Here, when we click, it switches to tablet mode. In this mode, it shows all the icons like the Windows 8 bar, and when we touch the screen with the touchscreen. It's like being in mobile mode. The icons move left and right. But on a computer, the touchscreen works. On touchscreen computers, when they're not in desktop mode. If they're in tablet mode, it still does this. The taskbar hides, and when we move the mouse over it, it appears again. If we do this, the icons will appear a bit smaller. I mean, before they were really big. Now that they're smaller, they take up a bit less space. We can have more icons here, but if you turn this off, the icons get a bit bigger again. So in this mode, it takes up a little less space. Here, we have something else as well. If you select this, the user pick in this section is called arrow pick. Let's select this. This does the minimize and restore action. You can choose whether to show it or not, whether to perform that action or not. There's also something else called replace command prompt with DOS. If you press Ctrl+X, that's its shortcut. Right-click, then press the Windows key with X. What does this do for you directly? It replaces command prompt with Windows shell. Again, later on, if you want command prompt, the DOS screen, Windows shell is another screen, which you'll work with in detail later. Here, we have something called Windows shell. These sections. Well, DOS also has something that's called DOS. A disk operating system that just switches its screen mode. So, besides that, the taskbar, when you do this, sometimes it shows some things. That is, it shows some applications with labels. It shows them with their icons. We can set the position of the taskbar. It can be on the left side. At the top, bottom, right. Well, by default, it's at the bottom. We can choose. We already talked about the labels earlier. If you select it, nothing will happen for the items that are for you. Look, it shows the application labels completely. If you select always hide, it means always hide it so it takes up less space. If we go to new in, it's the taskbar. Full means show it, but if the taskbar gets full, still show it. For example, right now it's showing PowerPoint presentation setting, because right now the taskbar isn't full. And if we select never, it means never hide it. That means the label should always be there. Well, it's better to always hide it so it takes up less space for us. That's much better. How do I customize the taskbar opens help for you if you want? The point is, when you click, a help window opens, but your network needs to be connected. If we want to choose which icons to show on the taskbar. What things should be shown to us by default on the taskbar? For example, the notification area, or generally on the taskbar. For instance, by default, we turned on the microphone. For example, there's volume, there's sound. Like this, sometimes it happens that some computers don't show the sound icon. The reason could be that it's been turned off from here. Or for example, the microphone isn't shown, or the network isn't shown, or the power icon isn't shown, or some other things. What's the reason for that? It's because it's been turned off from here. The same goes for when we want Bluetooth to show up down here. It appears in the notification area. If we want it to show from the taskbar, or well, in the end, we have it from different applications. File Explorer, Windows Explorer, for example, Task Manager to show the graphics card. If it's off, that's it. In the end, that's what we can do. If we select this, everything will turn on. If we turn it off, only our own custom selection that we set will be shown. So, we can choose what things should be default and what shouldn't. If you select Custom, the system will turn off by default the things related to the system itself. and will show more of the additional applications. But for now, it only shows the applications that are related to Windows. Right now, everything is on. There are 3 that are off. We already knew about custom from here. From here, we can, for example, turn off the touch keyboard and the touchpad. Meaning, if we don't want it, we can turn it off from here. If we right-click, we can turn it off from here. Well, these are the default things that are on, except for the ones we've turned off. This section is for system icons, and this one is related to the icons that are added beyond the system defaults. We can turn off the extra items. The news and interest section is here for us. It can be on or off. Also, the previous topic, whether it just has an icon, is icon only, or if it includes both icon and text. If this is selected, it will open news and interests on the taskbar. Whenever you have this enabled, even without opening it. Sometimes, news headlines appear here, and if it's enabled, as we said, it reduces them. Some of these news items, meaning, once a news update or a weather update comes in, it only updates once and then doesn't update again each time. It stays like that for 24 hours, or until the next day, or it keeps working for that day. Another thing about people, we had this option. We enable it. At the same time, it can show several people in the recent list. For example, 3 people. It should have a few suggestions for you, people you may know, like the option I have on Facebook. Have a sound whenever someone sends you a notification or a message. For example, the app should have sound, have notifications, or whatever. But if you haven't signed in yet, then it's pointless. That's why we turned it off for you. So by default, in the taskbar settings, we have these options. Overall, we'll go through these settings again. There's the background section, there's the color, lock screen, phone themes. For now, we've worked on 2 of these. The start menu and the taskbar. We'll go through the rest in detail later. And finally, we kindly ask you, dear friends, if you found the videos helpful, please like the videos to support us and help the channel grow. Subscribe to the channel, and see you in the next sessions. Goodbye.